one thing that I used to tell Frances, she was always talking, Frances Preston, of course the president of BMI before I became the president, and the lady who hired me back in 1972. We would talk about how we would put people together and do anything that we could do to help them meet someone or take another step, and quite often that means introduction to whether it's co-writers or publishers or bankers or whomever, anything that helps them get to another step. And I used to say that we're a conduit because we can do it. And that was my way of expressing what BMI did. We were enablers in the best sense of the word for a songwriter, because we could do it. We can do it. We could introduce them to anyone they needed to know. Certainly in Nashville, and certainly in New York or LA, anywhere our people work, who are ground people. They're people that are on the streets. They're people that were on the streets probably before we hired them, but certainly after we hired them. That was what they needed to learn, to be there, to know anybody and everybody who might need to know a songwriter. And then, of course, know other songwriters and start dealing in human interaction and human relationships.
How has the profession of songwriting changed throughout the years, and where do you see it going in the future?
Well, the profession of songwriting certainly has changed, but I think more has stayed the same. It's difficult to get your work recognized. It's hard work to really get to the point where your stuff is going to be acceptable to a mass audience. Quite often the hardest work is getting the stuff you wrote simply, with your inspiration only, getting that stuff out, so to speak. So that's always been the case. There used to be more people in the I'm trying to look up for a word, the ecology of songwriting. There used to be more people that were there to help you, more publishers. They were the primary partner. There are now very few publishers. The major publishers are very large. It's hard to get in their doors for many of the creators. And that wasn't the case when I started. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of very good, very small publishers with people who wanted to listen to the songs. They wanted to be the next one to find the next big thing. So that's become much more difficult. Hence, BMI and ASCAP and other organizations that really exist to help songwriters along have become bigger. We now have many, many people that, in many ways, provide some of the services that publishers used to provide. We listen a lot, and we hand those people off to other people we think will be good for them. So I think more has stayed the same in terms of the art. Even though genres change and the type of music has changed, that I'm sure will always change. So that doesn't strike me as any news, you know. But the news is the ecology has changed, the number of publishers has changed dramatically, and this is a business of songwriters and publishers. So that dynamic change has really made it a little bit more of a rigorous challenge and field for a writer to find a good partner, a business partner. It still works, but I sometimes think it's a little more rugged.